continue the what I call begin last week the sermon of the plains of Matthew, because he's not preaching on the mountain. Jesus is on the plain. We have quite a lot to talk about today. But in light of what happened in this past Friday, what was Friday? Valentine's Day, come on. I took Isidore out for dinner. I gave him some flour, you know. Actually, I did. I cooked for him at home. And then on Sunday, which means yesterday, 30,000 engaged couple. I'm not talking about marriage couple. Engaged couple. That means 60,000 of them met the Pope in Rome. He was out there to look at that with the cloud, the golden cloud's nose, you know, the red nose, and every one of them had that on too. It was fun to look at that. So even the Pope has a lot of fun on Valentine's Day. So in light of that, I decided to preach on the matter of divorce and marriage and faithfulness today. Now, you know the Matthew's Gospel is written primarily for whom? What was his intended audience? The Jews. Or the one that at least they have been Jews before and now they're Christian Jews, or who are Jews now and want to learn more about the new way of life. So that's why Matthew is the only one who started out his gospel by saying Abraham gave birth to this and this and this and this 7th generation to this 7th. So, you know, all the way to prove that Jesus connect all the way back to King David and all the way to Abraham. See? Now, since these people are Jews, they know one thing very well among the Jews. They know their rules and regulations. They know the first 5 books in the Bible, back and forth, the rules, the law, the precept, their salvation, how God created them, took them to the slave in Egypt, and how He got. They knows it, dude. They knows it better than any of us who actually knows about American history, which I will test you later. If you don't know, I will take away your American citizenship by the power entrusted to me. But they knows about it. Now, since we talk about the first 5 books of the Bible, if anybody can tell me, I give you $20. Wait. Slowly. The first 5 books, the Pentateuch, name them. Let the children do it first, okay? You don't cheat on the children. Yes, go ahead. The first 5 books in the Bible. Beginning with what? Genesis. Very good. Second one. The one that they was into the slavery and then they took him out. Called Exodus. Very good. No dividing, okay? No cheating, okay? Number 3. It's talk about the 12 tribes of Israel. One of the tribes name, one of the tribes name later on become a very well-known name for G. I'm already give you the hint there, buddy. Anybody want to jump in? Leviticus, Levi, come on, people. Don't you wear Levi? Yeah, Leviticus. 2 more. Numbers, and the last one, Deuteronomy. Okay, you and him can share half and half, okay? Very good. You can give him that boy right there, $10. Very good. Now, so they knows about their books up and down. They knows it. They knows everything about laws and regulations. So when Jesus talking to a group of people, they knows their laws. So he have to be really careful. And the law said, divorce, he said, no, you can't do that. But the Jews, the scribes and the Pharisees, they split it out. They allows the man who can give his wife the bill of divorce. And you know how that works? I can't do it. Okay. Excuse me, Ben, I'm gonna borrow you, okay, Jen? If Ben decided that he's gonna divorce Jen, he only needs in the presence of the 2 friends of his who have to be male, over 18, and he write down on a sheet of paper, he said, I disown my wife. paper, they are done. That's it. That's how it works. And you know, for the woman by that time, if they are being divorced by their husband, they consider worse than second-class citizens. They couldn't even drive in the back of the bus. It's worse than the segregation in our country between the white and the black years ago. You have no right. You have to go back in on the street for your food. That's how it was worked then. And now, you know, now about the 21st century, all the papers, all the media talk about the Catholic Church is out of touch. They don't understand the female. Dog, Jesus back then was a hero of all the women. He alone stood up for them and said, from now on, no more of that. No more of that. When you talk about the angry. Now, I'm testing you about U.S. history. Let me see if I still got money. Oh, I don't, but I got candy. Give it to me here. All right, now about U.S. history. 1962, one of the very important events, not only in this country, but around the world, that the world could come to an end. What was it? What is that? John Kennedy. Yeah, that's not his dad. I don't care about his dad. That guy should be dead anyway. Oh, I didn't say that. Well, we all have to be dead one day, right? That's what I meant. What happened? The Cold War with the former Soviet Union, and they moved all the missiles from Soviet Union to Cuba. The missile crisis. Remember that. And if one push of a button, the world could come to an end. We know that. Now many of you who young like me, who wasn't born man, knows it. How did I know that? Duh, I studied U.S. history. I have to have 2 classes before I became a U.S. citizen, dude. So if you don't know it, I take away your citizenship. Fair? Right? You don't know your history, you should be an American. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Now, during that crisis, this is what I learned in U.S. history. How true today, I don't know, but I think it's true because that's history. During that time, the government, the U.S. government, digging a lot of tunnels and places underneath of the mountain of Virginia and Maryland, where just in case anything happened, the VIP can dig under. You know that, right? And that number, up to 2,000 people, VIP, can slip down there. So they gave every VIP a pass because you need to have that to come in. They gave to the chief of the Supreme Court a pass. He looked at that and he said, where is my wife? They said, she's not on the list. He said, now you can have mine and give to another VIP. I'm staying with her. True history. Probably that's what Jesus tried to talk about when he talked about the marriage today. He wants to bring you and I from what is legal or illegal into what's moral or immoral. He wants us to understand the law, not just on marriage, but everything else, in a sense of doing good, not afraid of doing wrong and wrong. That's what he wants. Give you an example. I don't know how many times ever since I became a pastor here that either my mother, Father Isidore, and I got a ticket in the town that you live. You know what I'm talking about, right? What is house name? Annabelle. It's 65 and suddenly you go through that town, it's 55. And I'm on cruise control. God knows the last 3 years how many tickets I got. To the point that the guy there He's again. I'm angry at him. Now, let's think about it. That's a reason why they called out to 55. The police, they're actually not there to catch me or anybody else. They're actually out there to protect us for safe traveling, right? Why are we angry? Because we did wrong. And we point the finger at them. If you and I, we travel right. So when I'm slowing down, was it because I worried I would cause an accident, or was it because I worried I would get caught? You see the spirit of the law? That's what I'm trying to compare here. That's what Jesus is trying to bring you and I to that point. When we remain faithful to our spouse, was it because we love her and trying to remain faithful, or was it because we worried we're going to get caught? And what happened if my child and my children and my grandchildren, you see what I'm trying to say? That's what Jesus tried to bring you and I to the spirit of the law. That's what he wants. Now, I get all excited when I'm going to bring you law. You know, I work with the children being so forced into such slavery. There's a lot of young of them. And the youngest one we just rescued recently is 46 months old. 46 months, okay? That's less than 4 years old. We had the one 11 years old. When she came home, she didn't even know what her parents, because she was so in there at the age of 5. Now she's 11. So 6 years being in there, she didn't even remember where was hometown, what her parents, does she have any brothers and sisters. Didn't even remember. 6 years in there. She came home. She only knows the name that people call her with. That's all she knows. And when she knows it, so she came home when we have to do all the paperwork and everything for her. I didn't give it, but the mother of the house gave her my last name because that's how we have to do. Right now we have 140 of them, 133 girls and 7 boys. Okay, in 5 different countries. But only 3 of them are Catholics. 137 are not. They Buddhists or they just have no religion. Now understand so, because in those poor countries just like here, if you are not into any religion, you don't hear the preachers and the people talks about the dangers and everything and prevention. A community to help support one another. So it's easy for them being trafficked and kidnapped into those things. Understand that? Those are the priests. I am not there to convert these kids. That's not my goal. Now, no doubt, I love to convert people to become Catholic. Oh, hell yeah. That's why I'm a priest. Okay? Did I say that word? Yeah, I did. That's all right. In the good minute. Okay? That's me. Yes. Okay? But I am not here to convert these kids. But the kids are pretty clever in some way. So they know their daddy is a priest. So every time I come back, they always ask me to celebrate Mass for them. Now they can sing better than both of y'all sing here, okay? Louder. I would say better, but louder. So I'm challenging you to sing as loud as my 120 kids, okay? They can sing, they can repeat and answer during Mass. They have no clue what they're doing. So after the Mass, this past January, that 11 years old girl walked up to me and said, Daddy, Bo, that Vietnamese called Daddy. Daddy, I'm also a Catholic. I say, come on, you lie. Because you think the children just want to make you happy. That's how they are. I said, no, you're not a Catholic. There's only 3 of them. You're not one of them. I was 11 years old. And she said, no, I'm a Catholic. And I said, tell me how you know you're a Catholic. She said, I used to receive communion. Well, the Catholic knows that, right? I said, how did you know you received communion? Now, I'm moving from the title of daddy into priest. You know what I mean? I'm into that now. Not as a father, but as a priest. I said, how did you know that you were Catholic? She said, I used to go to confession and receive Holy Communion. That sounds like a Catholic, isn't it? And then I pulled her to the side. I said, really? Tell me any more. I got so excited here. I said, tell me any more. So I to my room and I talked to her. I said, so why don't you receive Holy Communion now? She said, oh, I commit terrible sin there. And I said, what sin did you commit? She said, well, you can go to confession. That is a priest, you know. She said, oh no, you forgive me, but God wouldn't forgive me. I said, what did you do? You know, now my curiosity coming in. She said, I have done it too many thousand times. God would never forgive me. I commit adultery. 11 years old girl who not even had her first period said that she had committed adultery many thousand times. So God wouldn't forgive her. Isn't that a sin? Now it's not a sin that's her sin. It's a sin of the adult who have taught her and brainwashed her. That is your fault. It's your problem. It's your sin. It's all your fault. I was angry. I tell you, as a priest, but man, if I can track down those guys, I would kill them. Probably, if any of you who father would do exactly the same. That is it wrong? That is wrong. But you can see the anger. How is your 11 years old girl who didn't even have the first period understand that she have committed adultery many thousand times? How's that happen? Unless somebody have been pushing that onto her life. Now, I understand. You know, if there's a white priest standing here, he wouldn't tell me story because there are children in the church. But I do, because children, if they receive First Holy Communion, they already begin talking about these commandments. Let them understand. Let us count our blessings. Let us begin to understand how much God has loved you and I. Let's use those blessings to grow and blossom better. Oh God, my arm is already 15 minutes long. I better stop. John is getting tired. You sit down already. No longer can stand. Thank you, John. Okay. You can't sleep during my homily. You may get tired. But my dear friend, bottom line of this homily. Bottom line. You forgot everything. Remember this. Count your blessing. Count your family as your blessing. Remain faithful with one another in good times and in bad times, in sickness and in health. And together we can go to heaven. That's at the bottom line. Looking forward to one night, see all of y'all in heaven with you. Look to one day to see all of you